This is something I've been wanting to do for quite some time, and I really do appreciate you for giving me this opportunity to talk to you. Uh, Kind of give the people who, like I told you earlier, the casuals, the people who aren't familiar with who Tresean Gore is, give them an opportunity to meet the man and the fighter.
And I'm sorry that it's been so hard to get a hold of me, man. Training has been grueling. I've been in that gym 6 days a week. Um, it's about at least 5 to 6 hours a day. Um, it's pretty much been my life. Like it's been hard, bro. It's been a hard camp.
Right. And it's a hard
Jared,
sport, man. I
Jared
mean,
Cannonier, Benson Henderson, them boys been trying to whoop my ass.
hey, but you're already doing it right, man. You're training with some of the best to do it, and the best are still in the business right now. I mean, Jared Cannonier is a phenomenal fighter, and I really want to see him get his opportunity, another crack at that middleweight belt. 'Cause, I mean, that's a brother who got his heads on his shoulders correctly.
Yeah,
Very,
for
that's a
sure.
good man to be having in your corner. You know what I mean? And obviously, Benson Henderson with his experience in the UFC and outside of the UFC, I mean, that's huge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. It is, man. They look at me like a little bro, man. Like I could text Benson right now and ask him for advice, and he gives it to me. I just want to become a legend one day, like they are.
Right. And I mean that's what you set out to do when you're in a sport like this or any sport, any professional sport. You're here to leave your mark on the sport. You know what I mean? And
For sure.
again, like we talked about earlier, you're still young. You know what I mean? 29 years old. You got a lot to look forward to. You have a lot left in the tank. So obviously, whatever all the setbacks and things of that nature, just keep the faith, keep your head held high, and keep doing what you got to do. You know what I mean? Things will work itself out. God has a way of putting things. His timing is impeccable. You know what I'm saying?
I know God got me, man. Sometimes I just don't know when He got me. I'm
Right.
sacrificing and I'm trying my best to. It is what it is, man. It is what I know. My time's coming. I'm gonna just keep. I'm gonna stay focused, man. I'm gonna stay focused. I'm gonna stay disciplined, and one day I'll be able to inspire people like Kobe Bryant inspired me, like like Sugar Ray Robinson inspired me. I'll be able to be an inspiration to millions one day, and I'm just
One
trusting
thousand
in God.
percent. And I
I just got
know, I know between you and your story, you've touched a lot of people already. So just keep doing what you're doing. Real recognize real. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to put a facade on. All you got to do is continue being you, and all the things that you want people to see will be recognized. You know what I'm saying?
for sure, for sure.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Heck yeah. And so again, this is my podcast. This is Sports Blitz Media. And again, what I'm trying to do is just highlight a lot of athletes, get in contact with athletes, and just talk to them about their profession, what it takes to get to where they are today, and then some of the adversity and things of that nature. But with you, you've already shown your worth. You've already shown that you belong in your sport. You know what I mean? You're in a
Yeah,
very physical sport. For those who don't know, Tresean Gore is a UFC fighter, a UFC prospect. He was on the Ultimate Fighter season 29. And the man has power in both hands. I mean, in his legs. He's a very talented fighter. Someone that the UFC obviously sees has a lot of talent as well. Since exactly why you're with him, right?
yes, sir, for
Yeah.
sure.
And so what I kind of wanted, like I said, what I wanted to talk to you about is obviously your UFC journey. How it's been in the UFC so far. Again, we don't have to talk about any of the setbacks, but just the things that you've accomplished already, um, like the Ultimate Fighter, and some of the victories, and even some of the losses that you've had in the UFC, like what you've learned from the losses, but what you've also learned from the victories as well.
I got you. Let's go. Let's run it.
Let's rock.
All right.
So yeah, I mean, first question is, how's the UFC journey been?
It's been an up and down roller coaster. When I first got here, I thought that I would become champion within a year, and I thought I would just run through everybody. But I felt like it's a learning process, just like everything else. Rome wasn't built overnight, and you know, God humbled me. He put me in a position where I realized that I can't make it all about me. It's about Him. I wouldn't even have this talent if God didn't give me my talent. And I realized that my talent is to give Him the glory, and also, like I realized that fans don't care about me like everybody wants to be the people's champ until the people change on them when they fail. Then you realize it's not about being the people's champ. It's about being a champion for God. It's about being a champion for your son, for your wife. That's what it's all about. So it's been hard, man. But I believe I'm gonna be the greatest one day, and I will be the greatest one day. And I'm gonna keep moving toward that UFC title. And I'm gonna have multiple championship belts one day, but one fight at a time. One fight at a time.
Most definitely. And again, I most definitely believe that for you. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, if you believe it, you will achieve it. You know what I mean? If you just keep your faith in God, everything will all your goals and things like that, you will most definitely accomplish. So let's get into talking about some fights, man. So your last fight, you choked out Josh Friend in the first round. Beautiful choke. Talk to us about that fight, that particular performance, how you felt going into that fight camp, and then even you can talk about the submission a little bit because you don't see a lot of people standing up choking somebody out to sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Man, I just feel like that's the tip of the iceberg. The camp was hard for that. It was very grueling. I had a coach yelling at me the whole time. Uh, I was training with Jeff Neal, Ryan Spann, Kennedy Nzechukwu, uh, a bunch of UFC legends. I was training with for that fight, Uriah Hall, um, and they were on me. They were pushing me, and I'm not gonna lie. Backstage, I told my coach, I was like, "Man, I'm nervous, man. I don't know why I feel nervous." And he was like, "Trey, you already been through so much, man. Like this fight is nothing to you." And it's like when I went in there and I grabbed that choke, it's like I don't even remember grabbing it. I just it's like when I have good performances, it's almost like I'm in autopilot. Like I always ask the Holy Spirit to use me and so I can be my best when I'm performing. And sometimes I just do stuff naturally. Like I grab that choke naturally. When he was laying still, when I had him in the choke, I was sitting there thinking like, bro, you trying to trick me? Like, why you been still for? Like, I didn't even realize he was like out. I really didn't even realize what I had did until I went back and looked at the highlights, and everybody was like, "Oh my God! Like he almost killed that guy. That was such a brutal choke and all that." And I'm like, dang! I just thought I
I
was
mean, the
just
way you were standing, you had his neck, and he's trying to get out of it, but you got what they call the jaws of life just locked on, and he after you start squeezing, it was over from there.
it's me or him, bro. It's me or him. I'm trying to go home and look just as handsome as I did before I stepped in the octagon. I'm not trying to
Right.
have my baby looking at my eye like, "Daddy, what happened to your eye?" And all that. Like it's me or him. It's kill or be killed in there.
100%, man. And so obviously following that performance, the UFC gave you a call. It was like, Tresean, we got this new guy who's joining the UFC, three-time NCAA champion, who obviously they're trying to build up. They're trying to build Bo Nickel. They want Bo Nickel to be the future champion of the division, right? And so they're trying to give him what they would call as people that he can just walk through. Now, when I seen that the fight was announced, I was like, oh boy, Bo Nickel, you better watch out because you're fighting someone with some power who is not afraid to throw those hands, who's not afraid to just get down and fight. You know what I mean? And so,
Exactly.
talk to us when you got that call to fight Bo Nickel. Talk to us about that a little bit, because again, that's a massive and was a massive opportunity for you that we would have loved to see you do. Because, like I said earlier, unfortunately, Val Woodburn went in there, kind of got starched within 45 seconds. So
I
I
mean, the
highly
guy
doubt that
that
would have been the case for you.
yeah, there's a difference. There's levels in this game. Like Von Wilburn was like 6-0, 7-0 when he got there, but it was against Seven Bones on a regional scene that we don't know anything about. You know, I'll say this: when I took the fight, like I'll say, like 2 weeks to a month afterwards, I tore my scaphoid ligament in my left wrist. Scaphoid ligament connects everything. It connects your thumb, everything. I couldn't base for that fight. I couldn't put my hand down on the mat and base. without having to like have my hand positioned a certain way. I couldn't block punches without throbbing pain in my wrist. I couldn't block kicks without pain. I couldn't parry punches without pain. I couldn't hit with power with my left hook or my jab without pain. I remember one day I saw Floyd Mayweather jabbing that bag, and he was jabbing it fast, and I was like, I'm gonna go in the gym and try that, regardless how my wrist feel. And I went in there and tried it. And every time I would try it, my wrist would like fold, and I'm like, dude, like, and I would be in a lot of pain. I'm like, dude, like, God, you got me taking this fight, and I'm not even my best. Like, this is an opportunity of a lifetime to knock this guy out, and I feel like this. And what really made me back out is the week before, like a week and a half, 2 weeks before the fight, I was hitting mitts, and my coach had me like hitting the body shield with power and stuff. And I remember I hit the body shield with a little too much power, and like, man, I had to stop in the middle of training, and my wrist was in a lot of pain, like it fire in my wrist. And
Right.
I was like, man, you know, if I go in here and have a lackluster performance because of my injury, nobody's gonna give Tresean Gore the benefit of the doubt. Oh, he was injured. It's gonna be like, well, he lost. Moving on to the next one. You know,
Right.
me, and they're gonna see, man. They're gonna see that I'm different. They're gonna see that when I'm in there, I'm not alone. You know, I got the Lion of Judah with me. I got God with me, and I know He has God with Him as well. But I believe I'm set apart from these guys. Many are called, but few are chosen, and I believe I'm chosen. And you know, I'm gonna show that one of these days, man. On God's timing, I just gotta be patient. I gotta be patient. But I was planning on definitely
Right.
knocking him out. I see a lot of openings. I see the openings when he throws certain things. And I'm not even gonna get into context, but I see the openings, and
Right.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, even when he fought Val Woodburn, I feel like a lot of people, you know, again, your MMA casuals, kind of seen that he was a little too confident standing up. You know what I mean? And fighting a guy like you, I feel like he's instantly trying to shoot for the takedown. You know, trying to avoid the hands. You know what I mean? And so him
Val
fighting
Woodburn is
Val, I
five
feel like he got a
5'8".
little
Val Woodburn is
right,
5'8". So he bullied him. He little brothered him. He jumped in and jumped out. Jumped in
right,
and jumped out. I'm 6 foot. Um, I don't know. All I know, man, is when my time comes, everybody's gonna have to respect my name. Right now, I may be somebody that's just rising. They don't respect me. Uh, but one of these days, they're gonna have to put some respect on Tresean Gore's name. They're gonna know who Mr. Vicious is, and kids all around America and all around the world, I'm gonna inspire them to get up and be somebody, despite your circumstances. You know what I'm saying? And that's just it.
yeah. No, for real. And hey, I love that, man. Because at the end of the day, you are in this sport, but if you can inspire some kids to either join or, you know, chase their dreams like you are, then that's you've done your job. You know what I mean?
Man, exactly. You know my situation. You know my mother struggles with a crack addiction. You know my father's been in prison my whole life, and sometimes when I go home, I feel like I haven't made it anywhere because I still see that stuff. But I'm here. I'm here, and I overcame, and I'm blessed. And I'm gonna just keep striving, keep going. And like I said, my interviews and stuff, they get 1,000, 2,000 views. But one day, I'll go back and look at these interviews and see that I've been telling these people I'm gonna be pound for pound one day. And that's really the only reason I want to be in this sport, to be the best. So, and it's gonna come to pass. It's gonna come to pass.
1000%, man.
They're gonna all respect me. And the same way Ngannou has these super fights, I'm gonna have super fights one day too. But everybody's timing is different, and that's that. I gotta just be patient.
Yeah. So I also want to talk to you about upcoming fights between at UFC 300. Obviously, Bo Nickel is actually fighting Cody Brundage. Cody Brundage is someone that you had the opportunity to share the ring with. Talk to me about that fight a little bit. Give me your prediction on what do you think will happen in that fight. Do you believe that Cody has a chance against Bo Nickel? Because again, when you look at the odds and things of that nature, the odds makers make it seem like Bo Nickel is going to go in there and do what he did to Val Woodburn. Personally, again, as a casual, I think Cody Brundage will be able to maybe stuff one or two takedowns, be able to throw the hands a little bit, and give him a
Lands the
little run
right
for his
hand,
money.
if Cody lands the overhand right on him, he's gonna hurt him. Cody's taller than Val. Cody knows how to wrestle a little bit. Um, I believe that Cody caught me with that shot, and it hurt me so bad. Like, not taking it away from his performance, but I lost 23 pounds in a day and a half for that fight.
Wow.
I was undisciplined, which was my fault. I smoked weed almost every day of that camp, which made me eat more. You know what I mean? I wasn't praying. I wasn't like in tune with God like I needed to be, and I got caught with a shot, and I wasn't like out unconscious for 2 or 3 minutes. I was out for, it was a flash KO. You know, I was out for a couple seconds, uh, 5 to 10 seconds, and the ref saved me that night. You know, but like I said, I believe if anybody gets hit with a dehydrated brain, I believe if I would have had some liquid around my brain, I would have absorbed that punch better. But you know, when you are undisciplined and when you have to cut 23 pounds in a day and a half, uh, that Wednesday I lost 8 pounds. Thursday I lost 9 pounds. Friday morning I lost 4 pounds. So the whole week I was there was me losing weight. You know what I mean? It was a grueling weight cut, and he caught me with that punch. I believe if Bo's not careful, he'll get caught. He'll get caught too. Um, but we'll just see what happens. But I want the winner of that fight, and of course, my goal was set after I beat this guy to fight Roman Kopelev, Bo Nickel,
Mm.
or Cody Brundage. You know what I mean? Whoever wins out of those two. But I definitely want that Roman Kopelev matchup. I feel like I match up well with him. Um, I feel like I'll stop any guy in the middleweight division. You know, let me show up discipline. Let me show up, and I'll beat anybody.
And I agree. I
I'm
mean,
gonna show
like I
them.
said earlier, you got power in both hands, man. All it
They
takes
look
is you
at me.
to.
They look at me like a little brat. Like they look at me like they see me take a loss or two, see me lose a decision, see me TKO stoppage, and they think it's sweet over here. They think it's soft. That's why. I took Cody head. That's why I took Cody Brundage's boy head off right in front of him. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna take all these dudes' head off right in front of all the people that doubt me. And I see Bo's little smug little talks about me, or it's all good, man. It's all good. I've been an underdog. I've been looked down on, slept on. I'm that peasy head little boy that used to have the same little pair of shoes all year round. Same pair of shoes with holes in it. 4 or 5 outfits. I'm that same peasy head boy that they said wasn't gonna be nothing. And I feel like I'm defending myself around a bunch of bullies right now. You know what I mean? I'm having to stop them from trying to take my stuff. And
Right.
I'm gonna show them who I am. I'm gonna show them that you can't bully me no more. Those days are gone.
Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, preach, bro. Hey, preach. You know what I mean? Let them know, man. You know what I mean? And again, Tresean, you have had a good career so far already. I mean, between the Ultimate Fighter, and you were the runner-up to the Ultimate Fighter. You unfortunately lost to Brian Battle, who has actually carved out a great career so far of his own. Um, you know, would that be
Yeah,
a fight you'd be interested in getting him back eventually down the line? I know Battle moved down to 170, but
me
you know, you
and
never know.
me and Battle shook hands. I'm sorry for the interruption, bro, but me and Battle shook hands that me and him, we're gonna throw down for that 170 belt. Um, Respect the battle, but he moved down to 170 for a reason because he felt my power and he felt what I could do. He said he felt like he got hit by a truck after we fought, and I wasn't even letting my hands go in that fight. If I would have been letting it go on him, but respect to him. I'm not gonna talk about that old fight, you know what I mean? But I feel like even though they gave him the decision, I still feel like I won that fight. I feel like I won the second and the third. I gave away the first, filling him out. I let him hit me too much, taking away with stuff. But he's definitely a competitor. He's a gamer. He comes to win, and we saw that with his other fights where he starts just those two opponents that just rushed him like a little baby, and he showed them that he ain't a baby. Me and Battle, we
Right.
have a lot of similarities. People look down on us and look at us as the underdog, but a lot of the time the underdog rises and gets on top. You know what I mean? And that's that. But yes, in the future, 170, I thought I'd take care of the 85 division and become champ there. If he does his job and become champion welterweight, I'll see him. I'll see him again.
Yep.
But I want to avenge both my losses. But right now, I'm focusing on not getting no more losses on my record. You know what I
Right.
mean? I
Right.
have to focus on that, so I don't have to keep trying to avenge this and avenge that. Like I have to focus on not losing anymore.
Right. And that brings me to my final topic in regards to the upcoming fight against AJ Dobson, I believe at UFC 298. What do you see in Dobson? Because when I watch him fight, kind of reminds me more like a point fighter, someone who's just trying to get the points, not really trying to go for the big KO victory or not looking to maul a guy, or you know what I'm saying. He's kind of look point fighting, kicking the legs, throwing the jab, throwing a few body shots, things of that nature. What do you think about
Um,
AJ Dobson's game?
he reminds me of Battle. His style reminds me of Battle a little bit. Like you said, I feel like he's a point fighter, but he also is aggressive when he has to be, and I feel like he knows to be aggressive against the right people. I don't feel like he would try to rush me because he knows what I hold and what I'm capable of. Um, but yeah, I see the openings there. Obviously, why I took the fight. Um, but I think he's a good competitor. I think he's a gamer. I think he comes to win. He's and he's a brown belt on the ground and trains with Matt Brown and all that. So I know he's a good fighter. I know he has a good game plan, but I feel like I'm better, and I just got to show it. I just got to show it. When the time is right.
Most definitely. Heck yeah, man. Well, like I said, I'm rooting for you, praying for you,
Thank you.
regardless of any situation. I want to see you on the top. I want to see you achieve all the goals and things of that nature that you're setting for yourself. I mean, you are in the premier. You're in the Premier League to make everything to change your life in all reality, and you know that. You know what I mean? And so I'm rooting for you to continue staying healthy. I want to see you out there in the ring whenever, or in the octagon, I should say. Sorry about that. But yeah, like I said, I'm a fan. I'm rooting for you, Tresean. So I just want to continue seeing you do what you do best, and that's how to go out there, put on great performances, putting people to sleep. You know what I mean? And just again, staying healthy is the biggest thing. You know what I mean?
When I fight, that's the only way I know how to do is finish people. Like I'm not a point fighter. I'm a finisher. That's why they call me Mr. Vicious.
Mr.
And at the end of
Vicious.
the day, yep, my coach gave me that name, and I stuck with it. But y'all follow Sports Blitz Media, man. The premier upcoming best talk. Look, it's coming up, man. Y'all start following right now before